All right, everyone, here we go. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. It's straight up energy reading. This is the new moon in Scorpio. Wow. I mean, normally I'd spend a little time talking about it here at the beginning, but I think my pre-shuffle pretty much covers it. You know, I will tell you, I preface this by saying, don't let nostalgia hold you back. There's a lot of introspection with this before we move forward into something new. Okay, we're in new energy. It's the energetic new year. The energy of the mustard rhino that I'm calling 2026 is here. And we can get stuck in the past if we're not careful and end up going nowhere. The pre-shuffle, just the surface energy, shows that we pay a price for that if we get stuck. But you don't want to be left behind, in other words, sort of a thing, right? But we tend to do that. Just keep in mind with nostalgia, oh, I wish I could go back to whatever. We tend to glorify the positive sides of things, right? We do tend to do that. So let's take a look at this pre-shuffle, okay? Let's have a go at it. I've got exactly sort of what I'm saying, where we tend to glorify that, right? We got the Seven of Cups. There's options here. The world is kind of your oyster right now, all right? Now, I'm going to read it in relation to you, but this also ties to somebody else. The Seven of Cups crossed by the devil leaves us stuck. You want to move forward, but you're not sure what to do, and the net result is this. It's because of this. The nostalgia energy that rolls in around this new moon, because of the other energies around, Mercury retrograde, also in Scorpio right now, you know, as of today anyway, kind of moving back into it. It has kind of a devil energy to it. It can keep you stuck. Your best bet is to make some plans and move forward. Definitely communicate your plans. Tell people what you want to do. This is good advice, like they often say, if you're trying to quit an addiction or something like that, or change a habit, tell someone you're doing it. You're more likely to keep going with it, right? Tell everybody so that you feel like, well, gosh, if I go back on it, I look like an idiot, right? That kind of thing. Nobody likes to look like an idiot, all right? So talk about these plans that you want to move forward. Talk about it with people. That'll help you. That'll prevent you from getting stuck. Because if you do get stuck, you know, everything feels like end all be all right now. Everything feels like every decision, every route in front of us feels like it's the end all be all, the end, dead end that leads to a new beginning. It's a definite what I call closing time energy, right? That old song from the 90s, Semisonic, I think it is, or some shit like that. I don't know. But anyway, I always like the line from it, and I've said it before, right? You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I always like that line. I've been to plenty of parties like that. I've thrown a few parties like that where I've had to say, look, man, you don't have to go home. I don't give a shit where you go, but you can't stay here. Get the fuck out. Right? It's a bit of that kind of energy. So be careful about this. This isn't a bad kind of thing. It just leaves you stuck in the past. We glorify the past. We remember the really good things about it, and we conveniently forget how shitty it was. All right? We've been talking about that, but it's really playing out here. As far as somebody attached to you, they have completely fucking forgotten that they were a prick. There's somebody, I'm just going to phrase it that way. I'm going to Steve it up. Somebody attached to you has completely forgotten that they fucked you over, made you cry, made you mad, made you whatever, right? Made you watch tarot readings. I don't know. They've completely, conveniently forgotten that, right? Oh, no, they're looking at the past going, it's a wonderful thing. That's the equal and opposite effect it has on somebody attached to you. That's why I split it up. I read it for you first and then somebody attached to you, right? Their perspective is like, oh, yeah, Steve's viewer would love to hear from me. Their perspective is Steve's viewer would love to hear from me. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to talk to Steve's viewer with the Eight of Wands and the Chariot there, right? Honestly, I think this person is fucking nuts. 10 swords is what they run into if they do that. Unless you pay attention to my reading, right? If you understand why somebody's doing something, you go a little deeper. Why is this person forgetting what they did to me? All that kind of stuff. And again, it is what it is. But yeah, you have a new beginning. There's a lot of new beginnings popping off. They're contingent on somebody attached to you realizing the past. Realistically, actually, I think on both sides, it requires a realistic view of how things were. All right, let's go. Let's shuffle the deck. First card out. It always does, no matter what we do. Right? It's just the way it is. All right, first card out. Card before the cut. Why the fuck are we here? Let's find out. Let's shuffle the deck. Here we go. We do that all the time. I wish things were like they were, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. No, you don't. I'm a bit of a historian. World history, U.S. history. I love history. And energy readers have to be. You could pretty much give me any point in time that you glorify and you think is wonderful, and I could tell you at least a half a dozen reasons why it wasn't all that great. That you may not be thinking of. That people may not be thinking. You can do that. People in the future are going to glorify this time right now in history. Oh, I wish I could go back to 2025. Really? Okay. I don't know about that. There's people who glorify 2020 like it was, something spectacular. It was the hardest point in the soulmate cycle, lockdowns, all kinds of crap. There are people who are like, oh man, it'd be great if it was that. I think we often do it because we were younger. I think a lot of times we do it that way because we think about a time when we were younger, so been stronger and whatever, but it doesn't mean it was great. All right. Somebody here has conveniently forgotten that you guys had a problem. It's the Six of Wands and the Page of Cups. Somebody doesn't feel like they owe you an apology. Somebody feels like we should the apology is understood. It's like if you say to this person, I think you owe me an apology. They might say, yeah, baby. Of course you know. They won't even say I'm sorry. It's like, I'm, right, like that. They just glaze over it. There's some kind of glazing over, right? We're skipping straight to victory here. Okay. Hey, you saw the devil in the pre-shuffle. For the DF side, who's far more emotional and far more in tune with who they are, right, has a lot more empathy, the devil energy plays out as you might get stuck in the past and miss out on a great future because of it. For somebody else, the past is just, they're doing that whole, it's just glorifying it. It was just wonderful. What do you mean I hurt you? What are you talking about? When did that happen? Right, okay. All right. It's a forgetful devil energy, and look at that. You want proof? There it is, 7 swords after the cut. I didn't even look. I cut the cards blind, and I just kept talking to the microphone, kind of. I mean, it's what it is. It's 7 swords, deception. It's around that 6 of wands. It's exactly what I said. Somebody here they just want to skip straight to victory. And if you say, I think you owe me an apology, yeah, baby, you know. Well, you still didn't say you're sorry. You just said, I know. And stop calling me baby, right? I mean, I don't know why they're doing that. I'm just making them a little bit of a jerkweed, I guess. All right, let's shuffle the deck. Let's see where we go. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here, you found Steve Love Terry, you're here for a reason. This reading is timeless. Whenever you fucking find it, you're meant to find it. All right, we're pulling a pyramid here. This is how somebody feels. It's a perfect reading for this. It's how somebody feels about you, what they think about you, and a potential final outcome for you. All right? Let's see where we go here. Let's see what we get. We'll clarify with the witches. I don't know why. I just feel like it. Oh, good. 10 of Pentacles. I wanted to avoid this, and I don't. Oh, he got the King of Swords. I'm so sick of that King of Swords from the other day. Just showed up everywhere. Right? I get it. All right. Here we go. Let's see where we're at here. This reading could be near future influence for you, but this moon energy does last a little while, but I'll tell you what, it's very deep in its first couple of weeks. Just some deep, okay. All right, we're done shuffling, that's it. Overall energy is 2 swords. I need a Kleenex. We got to see what's under this real quick. Yeah, the 1 sword. Yeah, there's. I feel like this is somebody attached to you. I feel like they want peace. Again, this did come up. It's funny that I showed you the King of Swords and we were talking about the readings from the other day. It's somebody, I don't know which reading this came up in. It might have been an extended recently. Somebody is going to say whatever they need to say to get what they want out of you, to get that 6 of Wands victory. I just want you to be aware of that. All right? Don't let somebody, you know the truth. Whatever it is. Don't let somebody else cloud it or make you question whether you actually know the truth. All right? Just be careful about that. That's all I'm saying. And this can be a runner. This can be a lot of energies. This can be a lot of people doing it, a lot of people in your life. I don't know. You know, it's amazing how fast friends and family and everybody around you becomes a flim-flam man, you know, a con person, a con artist very quickly when they want something. People are generally very selfish. They're very self-absorbed right now. You have to keep that in mind. Even your best friend. Your best friend Janelle is not excited that you got a great job and are about to marry the person of your dreams. Absolutely, especially if she's living in a one-bedroom by the airport, working secondary shifts at McDonald's. You know, I mean, it is what it is. All right, right here. Not even full-time shifts, just bullshit, whatever they throw her. How do they feel about you? This energy, yeah, the Emperor, somebody dominant energy. Somebody feels confident. Wow, these are big cards. What else? And the Knight of Pentacles. Somebody feels a spiritual... Okay. Somebody feels... Can I just paraphrase this? Can I? Somebody feels a spiritual connection with you. Right? Okay, that's one level of it. But they're very rigid in their opinion. We're going to do things their way. Somebody feels like now it's time to do things my way. And that's rich. That's really interesting because since I got here to YouTube and before I even got here, but since I got here, we've been calling them the Burger King. And I just mentioned McDonald's. That's what's really weird. The Burger King's #1 competition, I suppose. But we've been calling them the Burger King. They got to have it their way. They've been getting it their way the whole fucking time. You know, it's unreal. And I just got done talking about how selfish people are. This is some of the most selfish energy, self-righteous fucking energy I've ever seen. Somebody who's truly spiritual. This is a spiritual energy here, but it's like a fanatic, right? Somebody who goes overboard with it, and they become rigid with it. You got to have a little looseness in that, otherwise you don't see the gray areas which are necessary. Somebody's not willing to give here at all. Okay. All right. They have figured out that they have a spiritual connection with you. I'm very pleased about that. Okay. This is probably an Emperor and Empress connection, I would say. Something close to it. This is a pretty strong connection. Whoever's coming in here is the dominant energy. So I like that. But don't let anybody confuse you into thinking that you don't know what's going on, that what happened isn't really what happened. Right? Somebody's version of the story they're going to try to shove down your throat. You're aware of what happened. Don't forget that. All right? Okay. How do they see you when they think about you? What do we get here? Yeah, the Ace of Cups. And what else? Yeah, the Six of Cups. Nostalgia, see? I've already been talking about it, haven't I mean, I read the energy first, then I throw the cards, but I mean, somebody's very nostalgic for what you guys had. When they think about you, and they think you are too. That's the beautiful thing. This whole energy right here is just a feedback loop. So they think you feel the same way they do, and you remember it the same way they do. And you both remember things completely different. Okay? This is not just one person. This is going to apply on a high level to whoever this Emperor is, but on medium and small levels to other people around you. You might say to yourself, I think the kids use the term delulu these days. I mean, I don't know what the kids do. I'm afraid of them. But I've overheard delulu being said. I think you may say to yourself, these people are this person's fucking delulu. They're out of their fucking mind, right? That's not what happened, right? If you get into a fender bender, hopefully you're safe. I don't want anything to happen to a Steve's Love Tarot viewer, but if you get into a fender bender, and you get out of the car to exchange information with the person, you will be blown away. I mean, this can play out that way. You'd be blown away by how this person saw what happened, right? They ran a red light, and it's your fucking fault. Right? You know, I mean, all you did was take off when the light turned green, and then bam, you know, and somehow it's your fault. You know, it is that kind of energy. This person's very nostalgic for this beautiful thing that you guys had. They're feeling very spiritual about you, but they're unwavering in the way they're seeing it. I don't think anything you say is going to make a difference. I think you just have to know your truth. What is your final outcome here? It's just the nature of this energy. It's not going to last 6 months. This energy, the initial energy I'm pulling on here will dissipate out in a month or so. It'll be strongest for the first couple of weeks. All right, so you don't have to worry about this for the next 6 months or anything like that. It's cool. This ain't going to run up into May. You'll be fine. It's just, it's annoying a little bit when people see things, feel things so differently from how you do. Especially, it's usually, in your case, something that hurt you, right? And no, I didn't. No, you did. You hurt me. No, I didn't. I didn't. Okay, fine. You want me to apologize? Again, they'll say whatever they need to say. Fine. Yeah, that. Right? And they won't say the words, I'm sorry. It won't be able to come out. All right? It is what it is. Yeah. Everybody's a whole bunch of little Fonzies. Right? I mention Fonzie a lot because these sides the DMs remind me of that character. Most people around the world know Happy Days and Fonzie. Hell, Henry Winkler can't even go to Japan without getting mobbed in the street. And they call him Fonzie. Fonzie had a hard time. One of the things he always did, he had a hard time saying, I'm sorry. He would say, I'm zzz. You know, he couldn't get the fucking words out. Which I always thought made him look small and weak, you know. So what if you could hit a jukebox and get free song? Get the fuck out of my restaurant, motherfucker. I make money off that jukebox. Asshole. Right? Then, you know, big bully of the restroom. But at the end of the day here, this is what you're dealing with. Somebody won't say, I'm sorry. They won't fucking do it. What's your final outcome? I took a peek. It's a big card. It's red with the Hierophant. It's a tower. It's huge. This is a good lesson for you. This is a good lesson in human nature. Observe. Pay attention. Be a neutral observer. Be me. Be a neutral observer and watch how people... I mean, honestly, it'll frustrate the shit out of you. You're going to have to be cool, right? If you can't be cool, you'll become a raging alcoholic if you're a neutral observer watching people around you. You really will. You know, I mean, it's just... It's insane what the way people see things. So, at the end of the day... And it's only because they don't have perspective. You seem to have perspective in this energy, and I like that. I think that's terrific for you. For other people, not so much. It might frustrate you a little bit. The Tower. Is it communication? Yeah, this reading reeks of communication. We started with the Eight of Wands and the pre-shuffle. So if you're somebody watching who's just like, I just need to know if they're going to reach out, this channel might be a little over your head if that's why you're here. Okay, you might want to take off, all right, if that's all you're wondering. But yeah, sure, communication, fine. The golden word of the tarot reading, communication. It's like a magic word. It's like alakazam. It gets views like that. But I mean, there's more going on here than that. There's something else. There's something that, this is your final outcome. This is like, you see somebody for who they really are. And we've been talking about this recently, but it hasn't come up this strong. This is something that's definitely, anyway, I don't know. Bottom of the deck, 10 Pentacles. Let's clarify the Hierophant. You really get some juxtaposition here. You get some contrast. I'm not saying don't be with this person. You could be with Fonzie if you want to. Hell, you get free jukebox songs all over town. But don't expect a whole lot of I'm sorries, and don't expect a whole lot of... Expect to go along with their way if you do. You know, I mean, you could do what you want to do. You could go along with somebody else's way, let them be the Burger King all you want, as long as you know and you kind of make a joke out of it in your head, you know. Okay, we'll do it your way. You know, like that. I mean, I don't know. The Tower, why is it here? Let's talk, you know what? I'm going to pull on the Tower. I Freudian slipped it, but the universe does not want me to shuffle on that. So we're going to start the clarifiers with the final outcome. Okay. I'm down for that. As Bob Ross taught us, there are no mistakes, only happy little accidents, right? Well, it's better than the alternative, I suppose. There are no happy accidents, only mistakes. It's crossed by the Page of Wands. Somebody you thought was big looks small in this energy. That came up in a recent reading. I know it did. I know it did. Well, what's on top? The Queen. The Queen. Wow, feels like a queen. You grow a lot because of this. There's something about this grows you. No, you don't get taller. Okay, it's fine. You know, it's the Page of Pentacles. I said, what did I just get done saying? Rewind. I said this teaches you something. It shows you something. You get some juxtaposition. That's contrast. You get to see the difference between you and it. You and this person. Right? All right. And you can see that juxtaposition here, right? You see it your way, they see it theirs. But you know damn well only one is right. You know, you can't both be right. Either they hurt, as an extreme example, either they hurt you or they didn't. Did you imagine that they hurt you? Was it all in your head? So this person might try to convince you that it was all in your head. That's an extreme example, but it could happen for a couple of you watching. You know, this type of energy here that I'm getting in the feelings and the way this energy is affecting the way they think. This is a manipulating fucker. I mean, it really is. Why is this here? The Queen of Wands. I think this teaches you on some level what. Yeah, there's communication here, by the way. You definitely. What's the bridge? Yeah, the Death card. It has to be the Death card. I want to point something out to you before I talk about this. The Death card is bookending, bridging the Tower. Okay. I mean, these are your. This is basically your final outcome. The Tower, the Death card. Okay. That's like. And here you are learning a little page. My student. That I accidentally started the Freudian slip and call it the Queen of Pentacles. You grow here a lot. And you see, I think you see, it's nothing bad. I think you see how this person sees things. And I think you can work with it. I think you can decide if you want to. The door is open. I think you can work with this person, but I think you get a little more insight. Actually, a lot more insight into how their mind and soul works. And I think this helps you. I think this benefits you greatly. You build a relationship on a solid foundation, or at least something rooted in reality. I'll give you a strange piece of advice here before I continue to clarify. You see it your way, they see it theirs. There's one Ace of Swords, so there's one truth, right? I wouldn't try to convince them otherwise. Just like I said, be me. I'm a neutral observer. I don't participate much in society stuff, for example. I don't vote. I don't whatever. I watch all the news, the whole angles of it. I'm curious. I'm just curious. I make notes. I write things down. I want to see what's happening. It allows you to take a lofty perspective and see things clearly and not get jammed up in stuff. With this here, I would be me, briefly. Be a neutral observer in this. Treat this like you're watching chipmunks. You're a big chipmunk fan, all right? Or hawks like me. You go out in the woods and you watch them. And you follow them and you see what they do. You don't try to interact. You want to see what they do. You don't make them do things. Like, oh, I want to see how this hawk hunts, so I'm going to take this mouse I got from the pet store and put it down. I don't do that. I want to see what they do. I want to see how they behave naturally in the wild. You're getting to see how this emperor and a lot of the people around you behave naturally in the wild. It can be very informative. It benefits you so great, it's unreal. But if you try to change and manipulate things and tell this person, well, I'm going to give you a piece of mind, you are literally just going to jam things up. Okay, so be careful about that. And the pre-shuffle kind of talked about that a little bit. All right. When you learn something about somebody here, this is valuable information you're getting. It really is. You're going much deeper than just the surface here. And yeah, you may use the word delulu. No matter how old you are, you might use it. I mean, I'm too old to use it, and I just did. All right, Hierophant. Why is it here? Let's see where we go. This is red with your final outcome, so you definitely want to see that. We'll clarify whatever needs clarifying. We're all right. We're doing good. You can see why this had to happen. Look at your final outcome. It's fucking mind-blowing. You get to observe the emperor in their natural habitat. I know it'd be tempting to throw a pet store mouse down and see what they do, but don't, metaphorically speaking, but don't do it. All right, Hierophant. Why is it here? Talk to me about this Hierophant. The Hierophant in the room. Right? Six of Swords, sorry. They've just figured out a surface energy here. Just what you learn from this allows you to be the manipulator for a change. A little bit. This person here thinks it's simple. They may even think they've gone on I feel like I've gone on a spiritual journey. I don't think they have. I think All right. You may find that some of the people around you that fancy themselves spiritual, you may take a look at them. You may see them in a real light and go, "Whoa, there's nothing spiritual about this person," right? I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I remember because I remember the first time I ever read the Bible. I remember that, and I remember thinking to myself, my mom carries this thing around in her purse. And I remember thinking, did she even read this? Based on her behavior and the way she acts, I thought, did she even read this book? I mean, it's weird. You may get those kind of revelations about some of the people around you. All right? And it's like, whew. All right, let's go. She certainly missed the part about thou shalt not judge. Because let me tell you something. Wow. Going to public places, I just wear a shirt. If she comes to visit, I wear a shirt that says, I'm sorry. Big letters, it just says, I have it. No, it's a real shirt. I have it. It says, I'm sorry. In advance, I'm sorry. All right, here we go. The high priestess. Look at this. Why is that here? 8 of Wands. This person's talking a big game. Talking. Say it. Every word they say. Right? What's that, a police song? Every breath they take. Right? Every move they make, you'll be watching them. Right? You're that creepy police song. There you go. You're the one watching them. Right? So every word they say, this person shows you more of who they really are. It's fucking mind-blowing. It is a bit like my analogy of that kid who, and when I study something, I study it. I'm one of those A+ students. I study the shit, I read it. So, you're like that kid, that little Steve who read the Bible and was confused by the woman who carries it around with her, trying to, touting things from it, who lives completely contrary to it. I mean, I'm talking 180 degrees. You'll be surprised the depths you see of this person. I don't think it puts you off. I think you need to remember, if you're in Empress energy, you accept people for who they are. This allows you to see this person for who they are and move forward accordingly. Maybe you'll stop being hurt going forward, right? I mean, okay, the Emperor, let's pull on it. It's just the way it is. It's just a fact. All right. You learn a lot. Every word that comes out of this person's mouth, if you're the neutral observer here, you will learn something. It applies to a lot of people around you, not just this Emperor. Pay attention. There's something in the communications that helps you, that teaches you something, shows you something. And I think your relationship with whoever this is, this Emperor in particular, is better for you. Probably better for the people around you, right? It's probably better except for that person that you got in the fender bender with. I mean, they just don't even waste your time. Let the insurance company sort it out. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. The Emperor, why is it here? They're not going to learn nothing. All right. 6 of Wands. It's where we started. It's the card before the cut from another deck. It's right there. I mean, it's this person. It's their way or the highway, right? It's victory. It's they win on their terms. It's all about their terms in this. They see it their way. You see it your way. There's only one truth. I mean, just backing up the whole read. What's on top? Justice. I mean, come on. Right? I mean, well, justice tends to be a balanced energy, but it's not in this case. It's the King of Pentacles. Justice for them. It's very selfish in this context. It's very selfish. I'm surprised the King of Wands didn't come up, but on some level I'm not, because I feel like this person is looking to gain something. In other words, here's a disappointment card right there. It could be some spying going on too, or has been that maybe you haven't known about but you suspected. I think the King of Pentacles came out instead of the King of Wands because I think this person doesn't want to believe that they hurt you. I think genuinely they want to just make themselves feel better by putting up some kind of spiritual front or saying things their way or talking like they're above you. Can I put it that way? Is that the way? That's a nice way to put it. It's people talking like they're above you on some level. This energy is definitely not above you, I will tell you. And you gain tremendously from it. You see somebody for who they are, you always do. And that's been coming up in readings. But that's why it's important when I read the pre-shuffle for you to not get hung up on nostalgia. That you don't get jammed up by that devil energy. right? I mean, you may need to make some moves here with some people. And you might be tempted, that devil energy's around you too. You might be tempted to glorify it. And that's why I said, don't let anybody tell you that you're wrong about this. You've got the sword of truth. Keep it. But this energy can be very persuasive. They go very deep. They seem to talk a good. I mean, this is the type of energy. I'm not saying it's your person or anybody in your life. But it's the type of energy. If I were doing a card pull on somebody, I might go, oh shit, are you a cult leader? You know, I mean, it's the kind of energy of somebody that could rent a warehouse downtown and get it filled up with people. You know, kind of a thing. Talk a good game. All right. I don't need that. It's just the baseline energy, stubborn energy. I'll pull a bridge on it. Why is the Knight of Pentacles here? Talk to me about that. Fucking hell, unbelievable. We've already done the final outcome. I like that. Let's just see here. What's the bridge on this? Yeah, the Hermit. It's again more of this hermit. You know, they feel a spiritual connection with you. It's just, it's false on some level. It's self-serving. It's everything that spiritual connections are not. You know, it's just the way it is. I mean, it's all a bunch of nonsense. It's a clouded truth. And someone here who's coming forward with their own truth, their own way of seeing things. And there's a lot of clouds around their truth still. All right, let's look into this nostalgia here. Let's see how they, when they think about you, how do they see the past? The Six of Cups. And then we'll go pull, I'll see how they feel about you. And then we'll go pull some wicked voodoo on this. We will. What's interesting is I don't have a devil on the table. I might get one here. I had one in the pre-shuffle, but I don't have one that's fallen on the table yet. Which is telling me, because whatever this person is speaking, they firmly believe. You know, they could pass a polygraph. It's crazy. Is your person a sociopath by chance? I don't know. All right. Or a psychopath, I should say. A sociopath can fail a polygraph because they know they're lying. They just do it anyway. A psychopath, those are the ones that pass the polygraph, so yeah, whatever. They live in their own little fucking world. All right. Six of Cups. Everybody else is just in the way. The Knight of Pentacles. They've got this vision that they're very firm on it. Again, I got a Knight of Pentacles here. It's the same thing. It flows over. They're absolutely convinced of what happened. I don't know what specifically. You know, take this picture. They're absolutely convinced that you went to a pond and you had this day. And you're like, we never went to a pond and we never had a day and we never rode a horse. And you're like, yes, we did. No, we didn't. Yes, we did. I'm telling you because I'm the emperor. Right? No, I mean, I don't know. Very convinced. They're absolutely certain about their version of what happens. And they're certain that you will come with them. There's a lot of certainty here. This is the Four of Swords. It's an energy of healing and strange because they think, and this is probably how they justify it, if this is the emperor that hurt you or somebody who hurt you or something along those lines, they're convinced it's already been fixed. It's already been healed. They've healed, so you've healed. I'm better, so you're better. It's sort of like, to give an analogy, somebody cheats on you and you dump them, right? You say, I don't ever want to hear from you again. A couple of months go by, they're over it. They themselves are over it. They're an asshole anyway because they cheated. So they're like, you know, I'm over it, whatever. You know what? Steve's viewers probably over it too. I'm going to give them a call. It's just this assumptive healing that's here. It's just unreal. The Tower. It's already been settled. It's already been healed. We're ready to listen to what I'm saying. We're ready to rebuild now. Right? Are we? Or is it just them? Right? We would imply both of you. It's not. It's not there. And it's interesting that you also get a Tower in your outcome. You see things, again, it shows you a lot. You get to decide what you do here. There's no doubt about it. You got an opportunity to start anew. Let's see what the feelings are. I'm curious. And what I'll do at the end is I'll clarify the Death card. Right? Not everybody goes to the extended, so I'll give you a little clarifier on the Death card here. That'll be interesting. All right, let's see where we go. Let's pull on these feelings. When they see you, they think you feel the same way. Really? Okay. You might. There's definitely love here. I'm sure you do love this person. Somewhere underneath all the... yeah, but you did fuck me over. And no, we didn't settle this. Somewhere under there. But I don't know. Let's see. When they look at you, they get all lovey-dovey. They get ready to give the love cup. Okay. All right. It's crossed by the Emperor. And there's your Emperor right up here. Remember? The Emperor. It's crossed by the Emperor. It's such a... I don't know. Somebody... just look at the picture. And look at these people off in the distance. And look at him sitting here with all this shit. Right? It's somebody who just... who feels above you. They feel like you need my love. It's like me talking to you saying you need my love. Right? You need it. You're lost. They think you're lost without them. And they're willing to forgive you. Really? You know, that should be your response. Again, it's what's here. You could take it. I have to give extreme examples in the readings to get the point across. It could be a very mild thing. In other words, it's your fault, not theirs, and they're willing to forgive you. On whatever level it is, high level or low level, you know. Like the fender bender I talked about, right? They ran the red light, and they're willing to forgive you for doing the right thing and going when it was green. I mean, okay. Thank you, right? I mean, what's on top here? 8 of Cups. Bygones be bygones. Why is that here? It's a celebration. Let's let bygones be bygones. I'm willing to forgive you. I mean, it's the easiest way I can explain that energy. I can't explain it any better than that. And I've given you a couple of examples. It's a blame shifty type energy. It is. But this person is doing this under the guise of spiritual awakening. And they're speaking these things. Throat chakra, up the yin yang here. Okay, they're speaking these things. Let's pull on the death card. I want to get more on you. Tell me about the death card. Just the death card. Not the Tower, not the Queen of Wands, not the learning, my little student here, big student. Because I Freudian slipped a little and called that Queen of Pentacles. And I know damn well that's not the Queen of Pentacles. I know this deck. I like it. It's my lady with sticks in her hair. I love that. I love that. Okay. All right, here we go. Anyway, let's see where we're at here. All right, here we go. What we get here? Let's go. Oh. It's the Queen of Pentacles. We were just talking about it. And it's the other deck where she's got the stick, strangely enough. I forgot I was using the witches. But it's still same thing. It's my party trick. All right? A Queen of Pentacles. I called it. There it is. Mm-hmm. So, okay, what's on top? The 6 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. This is a very earthy energy. This queen gets real. Right? This is the real deal. This queen does not come to your house. It's like the band queen. They're not coming to your house. Right? Brian May's not knocking on your fucking door. Right? With his guitar going, can I play you something? It's not happening. You got to go see Queen. Right? You got to go see them play. Right? And hopefully you did back in the day. I bet it was something. I heard it was something. Anyway, I never got to. I was too young. But right there, this is something about your interaction with people. I'm talking about you. Something about your interaction with people during this new moon energy. Suddenly things start to make sense. You suddenly start to realize that some of your fantasies can become a reality. Some of your fantasies can be attempted. You can move toward them. And then in other cases, you're seeing the past for what it is. And in some cases, it's a fairyland. It's nonsense. What's the bridge? The 10 of Wands. There's some kind of energetic burden that you've been carrying. It's interesting because I see this as he's wearing the garb of the Hierophant in this deck. And this is all red with a Hierophant. So it's very interesting. You've been carrying a burden for a while. I don't know what that burden is. It's going to be different for all of you. Some sort of heaviness gets removed. And it gets removed through your interaction with others and your realistic view of the past. That opens doors for you to actually, it works in both directions. In other words, you see some things that were just fairyland, your illusions and delusions about things and people, but you see other things that you thought were just fairyland and weren't possible for you are suddenly very possible. You see a way you can do it. All right? And again, the advice stands. I mean, there's a reason this came up here. I will tell you what. We were talking about it. We've been mentioning it. And how about that? There she is. Queen of Pentacles. Your energy showing up right there. There is this... Oh, I can't even put my finger on it. There's this... Let me shuffle for the 3 cards, the final message from the universe for you. There is just this, it's like I said, be the neutral observer. That will serve you well. Just pay attention in this energy. This Queen of Pentacles is just sitting there. She's observing nature. She hears it, whether it's this one or the sticks in the hair and the light seer, it doesn't matter. They're observing nature. They're watching. My analogies hold true with this. You know, when I go and I hawk watch, as I like to call it, I don't bring little rats and mice from the pet store to see what they'll do and put them out. I want to see what they'll do, right? It's a bit of that here. This energy, this moon's energy puts you in this. And I know it's a Scorpio moon. It's very watery. But for some reason, it puts you in a very grounding energy, provided you take all you need to do to cancel it out a little bit, some of that depth and some of that water, and not get stuck, is be willing to not just look at, not over glorify the past, not get stuck in nostalgia a little bit. But in relation to this person attached to you, the main energy that came in here, you're just seeing it for what it is. There's some sort of burden released. I don't know. Maybe you felt guilty here. There's a guilt energy attached to this. I felt it off the 10 of Swords in the pre-shuffle too, but I didn't say anything then because I didn't know where it might be. There's something with somebody. It may not be this emperor, but there's something with somebody that you feel guilty about, or something you feel guilty about. And I'm telling you, this energy knocks that right off. That guilt is holding you back. Don't feel guilty about it. You don't ever have to feel guilty for doing what's right for you. Ever. You don't owe anybody an explanation for taking care of you, doing what your soul calls out to do. Follow your heart. Follow your soul. Follow your nose. They'll lead you to Fruit Loops. If nothing else, it's what Toucan Sam tried to teach us for many years. All right, here we go. For those of you in countries where Fruit Loops are illegal and you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's a toucan that was a mascot of a sugar cereal. And the ad slogan was "Follow your nose," and he finds Fruit Loops at the end of it. That was the ad campaign. And yes, there are some countries where, mainly in Europe, where Fruit Loops are illegal. They don't sell them there. They have no idea what they are. There are people watching who don't know what Pop-Tarts are. They've never seen them before. And they've said this, and they've said as such. High Priestess, Death card, final message to you, and the Four of Pentacles. It's just re-emphasizing. It's just, don't be afraid of what comes up in this. Don't be afraid of what comes out. Don't be afraid of what's under the carpet in this. There's a big chance for you. Lots of opportunities popping off for great change here. But if you're afraid to look under the carpet, if you're afraid to look under the bed, afraid to look in the closet, afraid to hear what this person, actually listen and hear what this person has to say. Sometimes we're so glad to see somebody and they owe us an apology, but we don't even care because we love them so much and we're so glad to see them, we don't even hear what they're saying, right? Stop that. Pay attention. Be the neutral observer. Do a little Steve Hawk watching, all right? A little bit of that, but don't be afraid of it. That devil energy from the pre-shuffle is where fear comes in, and strangely enough, I saw it here. And I didn't want to say anything because, again, I didn't know why it was here, just like the guilt from the pre-shuffle. I don't know. I have to peel back the layers first before I open my mouth. But underneath this Queen of Pentacles is the moon. It's fear, right? Don't be afraid of it. She's not afraid. Look at her, right? I mean, she can't weigh more than 110 pounds soaking wet, right? And she's out in the rain to see what the noise is in a nightgown. And she got a torch. It's pouring in the night, right? She's not afraid. So be her, one way or another. All right, that's your reading. I hope it was helpful. If you want the extended, there's a couple of links at the top of the description. The new moon readings are usually pretty important, and usually some weird shit comes up. I will warn you, because it's a new moon reading, there may be some hocus pocus. So if you don't like the hocus, I'm starting to like the hocus pocus myself. I don't know. I'm going to dig deeper into this emperor energy, all right? Specifically. We'll see. All right, that's your reading. Good luck.